Now let's just do it for certain questions on the step deviation method that we have, okay? Now, how do we choose whether I'm supposed to go with the data direct mean method, assumed mean method, or with the step deviation method? So what we are going to do is we have studied that in the previous one, and we are going to see the certain questions where we are applying the step deviation method, okay? So the first question is from your textbook exercise. So this is from the exercise 13.1, question number 2. Okay, so usually when we do the textbook, what we do, we see that the first questions are easy. We think the beginning questions are easy, and as we go towards the end of the exercise, the questions get tougher and tougher. Okay, so what's actually happening in here, but here if we see in this particular chapter, it is the type of data that you have is what you're going to choose in here. Let me just write down the question and start the video. Now, so let's when we look at the question that is given to me over here, this is given that the daily wages are so and so and so and forth, and the number of workers are this. Now here, when I want to do the mid value method, okay, if I find the mid value of it, how do I find the mid value? I told you to write the formulas when you are practicing it, so that it becomes easy for you to read it in your head. Okay, so it is the upper limit plus the lower limit divided by 2, right? The sum of both of them and divided by 2. So when I do 500 plus 520, that becomes 1020. When I divide it down, it becomes 510. It becomes, okay, so 510 is what I get here for the same thing. Now here I know that exactly center value is 510. Looking at the data that is given to you, you can even understand and do it, right? So here it is given as it would be 530, and here it would be 550, here it would be 570, and here it would be 590. Okay, this is the mid value that we have got. Once we have got the mid value, what is the next thing that we are supposed to do? Now here I see that the values are too big, so if I want to do the multiplication of this 51 times of 12 and all of that, it will become too hectic for me to simplify, isn't it? It will be too hectic for me to multiply and write down the answers. Yeah, this one will be easy, but this one will be a little difficult. Okay, as I go further and further ahead, it is going to get more and more difficult for me to simplify this answer. So instead of this, what I would choose is I would go with the step deviation or the assumed mean method. So both of them have the same thing in here. So I choose this to be my assumed mean section, and here is my A here. Okay, so I'm going to write my A here. Now what is the next step? If for both step deviation assumed mean method, we are going to calculate the D, which is x minus of A. Okay, so this is my A, so this is my x minus A. First of all, as I know, this is going to be 0 assumed mean, and then when I do this, it's going to be the top values are going to be negative, the bottom values are going to be positive. Okay, same exact values you'll get. Okay, so what do you get here? When you do this, you get minus 40 here, and then you get minus 20 here. When I do the difference of this, you get positive 20, and when you do the difference in here, you get positive 40. Okay, fine. Now still if I see 12 times 4, 14 times 20, 8 times 0, fine, this and this is like a little difficult for me. Then I would go with my another method, which is called as the, now step deviation. If it was there, then I had to multiply D with F, right? If I was doing the step deviation method, I have to multiply the D with the frequency. Multiplication would be a little difficult here still. So I am still going with the U method, which is D upon H. Okay, so when I'm going with D upon H, the class frequency, H is the height of the class. What is H? H is the height of the class. Height of the class is H. Okay, so what are we doing in here? So we are dividing the D with the height of the class. So height of the class is 20 here. For this particular case, it is 20, and then you go with the U value. So U is minus 40 over 20, minus 40 over 20, that becomes a negative 2. This becomes negative 1. This would be anyway 0, and this would be again positive 1, and this would be 2. Now it has become quite very easy. I can do my FU column now. Okay, FU or UF column, I can do it now. So 12 times of 2, that becomes minus 24. 14 times of 1, it becomes minus 14. Then this is 8 times 0, it will remain 8, 0 itself. This becomes 6, and this becomes a 20. Okay, then what is the next thing? Sigma FU is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, when I'm doing the sigma FU value, and in the question they have given me that they are distributing. I didn't read the question at all, because most of the time you don't need to read the question for these particular type of questions. For the statistics questions, either they're asking you the mean, median, mode, just you have to find out what they're asking you to do. Okay, So here, since also I did not write the question because this is a direct textbook question. So when you are sitting down, do sit down with the textbooks so that if there is any question from the textbook, you can pick it out and you can do it. Okay. So here when I do the addition, it becomes minus 38 and positive 26 is what I have here. So that turns out to be 2, 1 minus 12 is the value that I get here. Okay, so sigma fu is my minus 12, and they have spoken that they are testing, they've been carrying out this survey on 50 workers. So sigma f that you have is 50 already. I don't need to do it. Most of the times the sigma f value will be given. They'll say 50 houses, 30, 20 people, or maybe 10 students, something they'll mention about it. So the sigma f value will be given to you. Okay, now that I have my both of them, I'm going to go with the x bar, finding the mean. X bar is what? It is a plus sigma fu over sigma f times of h is what I have. Okay, fine. So I'm going to substitute. This is my a, that is 550, plus sigma fu is minus 12 and sigma f is 50 times h is 20. This 0 goes off, and then whatever I have left with, I'm going to simplify that. So it becomes 550. Then these two multiplied becomes minus 24 over 5. Then when I multiply it, it becomes 0, 5 5 is 25, 5 5 is 25, 27 minus 24 is what you get. That turns out to be your so one more thing I missed is I did not carry the denominator forward. So when I do the subtraction, it's going to be 10 here, 10 here, 6. It becomes, and then this is 4 minus 3. This becomes 4, right? Because I've borrowed 1 from the 5 to make it a 10. So that becomes 4 minus 2 is 2, and 7 and 2 you have it divided 5 times. So let's do the division for the students who cannot do the division. I'll be doing here so that it's clear visible. So 5 times of 2, 7, 2, 6. Okay, 5 times 25 I have, then 22, 4 times 20, then 26 you have. So 5 times 25 it goes 1, put a decimal, take a 0, 2 times 10 and 0. Okay, so the answer is 545.2 is the answer. This is why we are choosing the step deviation method. We did not want to have the bigger calculations, mess up our steps, mess up our calculation, and fail getting the correct answer for this one. Okay, so they were asking here, what is the average mean salary? So you would write rupees this, or if you want to add a statement, you can go ahead and write average wage of a person, of the workers, is equal to rupees 545.2. That would be your answer here. Okay.